freedom isn't the result of wealth. It's the foundation. Welcome to Wealth Independence, where freedom leads and real wealth follows through battle-tested strategies, hard-won lessons, and real-world experience. You'll discover how to accelerate your path to true financial independence. And now your hosts, Dustin Bailey and Adam Penn.
All right, welcome back to the Wealth Independence Podcast, where freedom leads and real wealth follows. I'm Dustin Bailey, and I'm here with Adam Penn, and welcome to version 2.0. And Happy New Year. This is this episode is coming out on January the 2nd, so Happy New Year, and it's also the start of a new version for us, or new season, if you want to use regular parlance. So anyway, we're excited about this. Congratulations, Adam. Made it through a full year and season of podcasting. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's more than some other people have done.
That's very, very true.
Go ahead. I was going to say we've got a lot of episodes under our belt now, and I think we've learned some things. We've done some things that we've liked, and I think the biggest thing we need to change is just get you off the show, and it'll be good. That's
probably the case. That's the biggest, we have the contact form on the website, wealthindependencepod.com. And that's the single biggest comment that we've gotten. People have asked that I be removed. So unfortunately, I run the website and do most of the producing tasks here. So I just delete those comments, but we appreciate you writing in. No, yeah. I'm completely kidding about that. No, I was going to say we had a mentor of ours very early on when we were thinking about starting this that said, well, you need to commit to it for at least a year. And so we did that, which is kind of cool. I would say we like you said, we've learned a lot in the first year, and but at the same time, looking back on it, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground. We covered a lot of interesting topics. We talked to some people. I think we're going to have some more. Hopefully some more guests lined up here and going into version 2, be able to have more than we had potentially in the first season.
I think this might be the time that, because we really haven't been going to our list very much, I think now's the time that we start hitting some of those bigger names that we know, and some of the people in the groups we've been a part of, and actually start interviewing them, and that might build some more traction. I think the other thing that and I think that the goal of this is a little bit of a review of last year, the show, and just to tell all you listeners kind of where we're going forward. And from my standpoint, one of the things that I'm excited about and I want to keep doing more of is the No Investor Left Behind.
Yep.
It's hard because sometimes we don't know where people are left behind, but we the cap rate episode got a lot of good hits, and I've had people call me and tell me that they enjoyed, they didn't call me out of the blue to tell me they enjoyed the episode, but we've been chatting, and that was one they liked. And so continuing to do those, I think that builds the education side of things, and then get some bigger people on here to talk about where they see things and opportunities they see, how they structure deals, where they see value.
No, I agree. I was going to make that same comment. I think the idea, which unfortunately I will have to give you credit. I think the No Investor Left Behind sort of series, that was your idea, right?
Most of the good ideas are.
But we recorded that cap rates episode, and I enjoyed recording that one. And then even when I was going back through to prepare it and get everything ready to publish, I was like, this was good. I enjoyed this, and so I'm excited that was the very first one that we did of that, and excited to get more of the.
We should do a waterfall one where we talk about return structures.
The waterfall, okay, that's actually. Oh, I already have that one written down.
Oh,
so we will do that one. That's kind of related to cap rates ish, I guess. To an extent. But no, I think we definitely had some good guests this past year. To your point, I think in the coming year, 2026, here for version 2, I think we'll try to get some larger, more household names in the investing space. Some of the folks that we know on our network. But again, that was another piece of advice that I think we tried to implement was not having some massive name on a brand new podcast where there's very few listeners, and take some time to build up. And
once again, to the same advice where Robert Helms said, don't use the good names on a brand new podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Which is something, again, I'm thankful that I feel like we were surrounded by some good advice early on. And it's been good. I think it's been good for me personally to be able to articulate some of these ideas and to get some feedback. like you said, the Cap Rates podcast got a lot of positive feedback. I've gotten some comments on it as well. And I think it's good to know, right? Because that's something that even we look at and think is pretty basic, and we don't think that much about that. But obviously, there's a desire for that sort of more detailed knowledge to be out there, and so that I look forward to being able to do more of those, dive into more topics like that. And I know, we mention it often, but we do have the contact form on the website. If there's something that, you want to hear, go fill that out. If you or reach out to us directly, ping us, text us. If you've already got our contact information, whatever, just let us know. We're always looking for more of that feedback, but that's been good to know that, generally the no investor left behind kind of idea, and maybe some of these things that we just sort of gloss over in our regular conversation here on the podcast, that we can take some time to park and dive a little bit deeper into some of those. So I look forward to doing more of that. And I don't, it's a holiday weekend. Everybody's coming off of, Christmas and everything else. So we don't have to belabor this one. This one could be a very super short episode, but Adam, I don't know if you've got any other thoughts on kind of looking back or looking forward.
I think the biggest thing that I want to keep doing, and one reason we do this podcast, is to be able to educate investors, right? So, and something that actually Aspen Funds did on their podcast is they've started interviewing investors who have done well and grown wealth. So maybe even outside of having, we have a lot of sponsors and a lot of people out there doing deals, but one thing I think we'll end up having a few people on this year is just people who have built portfolios. And, there's a quote that I say to investors on calls frequently, if you go talk to your financial advisor, ask them how they make their money, because it's probably not off the stock market. It's probably off of the fees they charge to you to put your money in the stock market. So to really hear from other people who make their money by doing these passive investments and owning real estate and these types of things that we talk about regularly, I think is where a lot of the value for me comes from, because one, I love learning about that, but two, it also teaches other investors about other opportunities, and it's kind of like proof of concept to a certain extent.
No, I think that's a great point. We'll can definitely try to do more of that. I think those real world perspectives, because to your point about it being proof of concept, we can talk a lot about portfolio construction and things like that, but I think getting real world people who've actually done it, I think there's a lot of value in that. So that'd be good. Well, we can keep this. This might be the shortest episode we've ever done. Don't have a ton to say. Then we appreciate everybody listening. Thanks for sticking with us here for a full year. We hope to keep providing value and getting better. It's funny to look back at some of those early episodes, and we were definitely trying to find our footing. And I would not that we're experts or professional podcasters by any means at this point, but I definitely feel like we got more of a cadence and more of a rhythm to things, and we've at least released a little bit better than we were a year ago. So I look forward to continued improvement, and again, hopefully being able to provide a lot of value to our listeners and folks who are investing, whether it's with us, with others. We can still provide a lot of value all around. So I think this is great.
I will say, because this is shorter, go back and listen to our goals episode that we did last year, especially because it's beginning of a year. Good time to set some goals and really make 2026 come home strong.
Appreciate you calling that out. Yep, that was we got some feedback. It's been a while, but when that one first aired, we got a lot of positive feedback on it. So definitely, go back. I might be able to call out which I actually think that was episode 1.0. So it was on January the 3rd of 2025. So go back and listen to that and start 2026 off right. Set those goals. I think that's a great point, Adam. All right. Well, we're excited. We've already got a handful of really good episodes lined up for the rest of this year. So we'll just leave you with a little bit of a looking forward to that. We're excited to get those out. But we'll call it for this one. And again, we appreciate you listening. Have a good rest of your holiday weekend. Enjoy. I guess most people get back to work and everything gets back in the swing of things next week.
That?
So what was that?
What's work? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, no, I know. We had a guest recently that said, if you're kind of free, even if you're working your butt off, if it's stuff you want to do, you're free. So there's definitely some perspective there. But anyway, again, we appreciate you listening. We'll catch you on the next episode here as we start version 2. But just remember, where freedom leads, where wealth follows. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for joining us on Wealth Independence. This show is for informational purposes only and is not financial, investment, legal, or tax advice and does not constitute an offer to buy or sell securities. All investments carry risk, and investors should always conduct thorough due diligence and consult with qualified professionals before investing. Until next time, remember, freedom leads and real wealth follows.